Thank you very much, Catherine, and greetings from the Archdiocese of Baltimore. And greetings from the Knights of Columbus. I'm very proud and I'm very happy to serve as the chaplain of the Knights of Columbus, and I'm especially proud and happy because of the indispensable work of our worthy Supreme Knight, Carl Anderson, in convincing the United States Department of State to declare what's happening in the Middle East to be what it really is, and that is genocide. I'm very happy to take part in this panel on a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Let me tell you how I got involved. I've been a bishop almost 20 years and a priest almost 40 years. Now, throughout most of my ministry, I've been aware that there are challenges to religious freedom in the United States, but mostly I thought that violations of religious liberty are things that happen not in the United States, but somewhere else, like in communist countries. In 1990, when the Supreme Court gave a decision that weakened the constitutional protection for religious freedom, the U.S. Congress passed the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, RFRA, and it was signed into law by President Bill Clinton. It was supported by Democrats, by Republicans, by liberals, and conservatives. Religious freedom seemed to be, at that time, something that everybody valued. 10 years later, I was serving as a bishop in Connecticut. Hello, Connecticut. Anyway, I got to know a lot of elected officials and some very fine public servants, but I also began to sense a growing hostility to the church, in part because of the church's internal problems, but also in part because what the church teaches on life and family is countercultural. Well, it all came to a head back in the year 2009 when a bill was introduced by a committee into the General Assembly that would have reorganized Roman Catholic parishes in the state of Connecticut in such a way as to exclude the leadership, the role of the bishop and the pastor. Most Catholics in Connecticut were pretty upset about this bill, and about 5,000 Catholics showed up on the steps of the state capitol in Hartford to protest it. In fact, we shut down the state government for about 2 days. The offending bill was withdrawn. But you know, it was a real wake-up call for me. It made me understand that religious freedom really is fragile and that it really can slip through our fingers. So I wrote a pastoral letter on the subject, and come to find out, many other dioceses were having similar experiences around the country. And so I was asked to form a committee on religious freedom And that's probably why I'm standing here before you today. I want to say what an honor and what a privilege it is to be involved in the work of defending religious freedom, and for two special reasons. First of all, this work has helped me to see that religious freedom is one of God's most beautiful gifts to each one of us. It is the gift by which God invites us to share His friendship. It's the gift without which we could not freely respond to God's love. And second, in doing this work for religious liberty, I've had the privilege of working closely and meeting some very loving and courageous people like Archbishop WYD. Yesterday, I ran into his niece, Nisha, and she told me that there are some 300 young people here from Iraq. Those of us who live in the United States and other places like it have a lot to learn from young people in Iraq and Syria and other places where ISIS is engaged in genocide, not just religious persecution, but a concerted effort to eliminate some of the most ancient Christian communities in the world. When I meet and listen to people like Archbishop WYD, then I know how important it is for all of us in the West to keep the flame of religious freedom burning brightly in our country. So today, I'm inviting you as believers and citizens to get involved. Don't think of religious freedom like a political football. It's not about a struggle between Democrats and Republicans. It is a profoundly human issue about which everybody should care. Any society that tries to rob its people of religious freedom is going to be a harsh and unforgiving place. And if the right to religious freedom goes away, so too our other rights and freedoms go away. So we should not want the little sisters of the poor to be forced to include abortion-inducing drugs and sterilization in their health care plans. We should not want hospitals in California to be forced to perform abortions. We should not want people who uphold marriage as between a man and a woman to be forced to violate their consciences when they go to work. And so I invite you not only to care about freedom and not only to learn about freedom, but also to thank God for the gift of freedom and to ask yourselves how you will protect and defend the gift of freedom and to be a part of the church's mission to use that freedom to serve the poor and the vulnerable. Freedom is a beautiful gift, but it's also fragile. Let's join together in protecting and cherishing that gift. Thank you for listening. God bless each and every one of you.